Hello Pisces, welcome to your September 2015 mid-month tarot reading. Okay, so I have two cards, Six of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so the first card out here is the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is indicative of moving from a troublesome past and moving forward into calmer waters, okay? So whatever turbulent times you've had within the past 3 months, I would say, you're trying to sail on past it, and you're trying to get yourself in a safer haven. You're trying to get yourself in a situation where you feel emotional stability and also like physical comfort and safety. I do feel that greatly I'm getting like physical safety. So a lot of you might have been in a very, very toxic, possibly even, abusive type of situation, because what I'm getting with this card is I like it a lot more than the Rider-Waite deck, mainly because she's not bringing the swords with her, on the boat. Whereas with the Rider-Waite deck, the swords are still on the boat, or they're in the boat as the woman and the child and the man, rowing the boat. They're all moving with the swords. So this is a much better energy, and I do feel that when it comes to your past, you're definitely making, a step in the right direction. I do feel what's helping you here is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's a situation where I do feel timing is everything. This is something that you've been suffering through, possibly for the past 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks. And you wanted to get out of it, but the timing is just ripe right now, mainly because your luck is definitely changing, okay? So I do feel, once again, I'm getting like a lot of you might have been in domestic abuse types of situation, okay? So this is something that I'm very glad that you're getting out of this, because I do feel definitely there's a better horizon, there's calmer waters, there's a lot more abundance coming through, and you're in a safe place, so don't worry about it. In the past, in the past we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So this is a situation where you felt beaten down, you felt very betrayed, you felt like stabbed in the back. You were in a place of worry, constant worry, anxiety. It's like walking on eggshells around another person. You were fearful of their wrath, their anger. You weren't confident in your own skin. There was a lot of restriction even associated with this. It might have been a marriage situation that descended into chaos, okay? So I do feel with this card, it's a woman wearing a veil, and I do feel that in the reverse, it might have been a situation where you were reluctant to get involved, mainly because you somehow you sense that this was going to happen, but then due to, either external circumstances, you put yourself through it, and you had to maintain in it, okay, for that period of 6 months, 6 years, 6 weeks, whatever it was. I do feel that you're definitely working up the courage. You're no longer bound by this situation or by this person. You're no longer scared, so you're able to move forward. And in terms of what's coming through for you here, we have the Page of Wands, and I'm reading this as an energy, so you are going to be tested. And I don't feel that there's like physical contact for those of you who have left like a very, very violent situation. I don't feel there's contact from the other person, but there's definitely communication trying to break through from the other person. If you're in this situation, you don't need to deal with this, okay? And you don't really have to engage with them in conversation. You don't really have to justify your actions, and you don't owe them anything. So move on with your life, and you're in a good frame of mind right now. You're in a very good headspace, and emotionally, you're in a safe haven. So don't feel threatened. Don't give your power away at this really important juncture in your life, okay? So maintain clear, firm boundaries, and don't get sucked back in, because the communication that you're getting is very insincere, is what I'm sensing with this. If you look here, he's got like a message of love, and he's giving this bird, and the bird is flying away to deliver the message to whomever, his heart desires. In the reverse, it's all BS. So you want to be very careful about this, Pisces. I do feel for a lot of you, you're getting like sucked back into a possibly, codependent, toxic environment, and you don't really need that. I do feel as well, what's crowning you here is the Nine of Swords, okay? The Nine of Swords indicates sleepless nights. When I do readings for clients and this card shows up, it usually indicates like not only is somebody not getting enough sleep, but they might be dealing with mild depression. It could be seasonal depression. It could just be full-blown depression. And interestingly, the you know the fall equinox is coming as well. For those of you suffering from seasonal depression, I do feel with the Wheel of Fortune, it's also a situation where it's like cyclical. You know, the seasons change, the phases of the moons change, the rotation of the earth shifts. So it's just the axis, actually. It's just like seasonally, this might be something that you're experiencing. So, for example, what I'm getting is this, and I feel like I'm getting this for a lot of Pisces. You know, in the summertime, you're actually very happy, and then the cold night starts coming with the fall and winter, and you're just like, how am I going to make it on my own? You might be living in an environment where, you know, you're a farmer, for example, and you're relying on the seasons in order to get by, and with autumn and winter approaching. I know this sounds very archaic, but people actually deal with this. So, with the coming spring, fall and winter, you're thinking to yourself, like, how am I going to get through this winter? And then the person from your past that you try really, really hard to escape from is coaxing you back in, and they're feeding you this sob story as if, you know, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. You can't cope over the winter. I can't cope either. For whatever reason, emotionally or financially, let's just help one another out. Don't get sucked back into that sob story. There is definitely false communication coming through that you want to be careful about, okay, in general. Yeah, I do feel that with the Eight of Coins in the reverse, I do feel like it was a financially codependent type of relationship as well. Emotionally, yes, but also financially. So because of it, you have a lot of anxieties, a lot of fears, a lot of worries about how you're going to able to make it, how you're going to be able to conjure these pentacles from this little melting cauldron or this boiling cauldron. You're trying to see what's the best way that you can manifest material abundance in your life in order for you to be self-sufficient, in order for you to not have to go back to this situation, okay? So what I'm sensing here is, for a lot of you, you might have recently left a job and you're kind of like in panic mode because a new job is not coming through, and all of a sudden around Mercury in retrograde, like after the 17th of September, you're getting like a message where someone is like, oh, I have a job offer for you and it's going to pay really, really well. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Okay, I feel like 100% it definitely is, because you can't really conjure pentacles out of a pot. You really have to work hard for your money. So don't get sucked in by these, you know, false advertisements, and especially with people who are feeding on your insecurities in order to get you to do what they want. So just be very careful, Pisces. Protect yourself. You're in a really good place right now, so don't cycle back to that you know, that mentality that got you stuck in the previous situation to begin with, okay? Don't think negative. I do feel abundance coming through, so just be careful. In terms of your advice here, we do have the Hangman in the reverse position. So I'm going to pull out the rest of this side in order to see what's coming through. Three of Cups, Nine of Coins, Six of Cups reverse, Page of Coins, and the Tower in the reverse position. Okay, so the advice here is this period of limbo where you're kind of like, okay, so what I'm sensing here is I keep emphasizing the fact that the message that was coming through is you're in a safe place. Nothing can go wrong. Okay, so make a decision is what I'm getting here with the Hangman in the reverse position. I do feel that there has been a massive paradigm shift for a lot of you. And I do feel for a lot of Pisces, you have such a good heart, and you willingly stay in bad relationships because you feel bad for the other person, or you willingly put yourself in situations where You're taking on the burdens of other people because you don't want to deal with the worries and the anxieties, okay? You have to realize that people are a lot stronger than than they seem. You have to also detach yourself and know that don't play martyr is basically what I'm sensing. People can take care of themselves, but in the process of you trying to take care of everything, you're enabling them, first of all, and additionally, there is no honor in martyrdom. Honestly, I do feel that when it comes to people and their life lessons, you really need to extract yourself from other people and their problems, because people have to learn their lessons on their own, okay? So that's what you've been doing in the past, and I do feel there is definitely a shift in the way that you are conducting yourself in the future, especially when it pertains to like relationships or toxic environments. You're first of all not going to fall victim, and you're not going to put yourself in toxic environment or codependent relationships. Additionally, you're going to heed the warning signs. When those red flags show up, you're going to be out of there. So you're not going to get yourself emotionally too invested where you can't really extract yourself, or you lose your sense of perspective. So a lot of you are in a really good mind space right now. So nothing is going to go wrong. Don't get sucked back in the past. We have Six of Cups reverse, which is indicative of the blast from the past. And possibly, there might be a health scare with the person from the past. They're reaching out to you. It's not your problem. Don't get sucked in, okay? You're in a good place right now. And additionally, I do feel for a lot of you, financial worries and financial assets, financial entanglements are why you can't really move on, okay? And I do sense that, you're in a safe place, yes, but you're thinking or you're tempted about moving back, mainly because financially you're lacking that foundation. So financial gains are definitely coming in. You're starting a new project, you're starting new jobs, there is new employment opportunities coming through for you. And even if it's Mercury in retrograde, and you know that, don't take a job during Mercury in retrograde, if you're in dire strait financially, you have to take that job. So don't put your life on hold on account of fears, okay? So even as I'm telling you, Mercury in retrograde, if you take a job, is not a good idea. If you need a job, and if you need that financial, cushion in order to get you through the next month, the next 2 weeks, just take it. Just keep in mind that it might be temporary. And, if you want to, you can stay there long term. I do feel that for a lot of people taking jobs in Mercury in retrograde, they tend to be underemployed, or the terms of the contract was never clearly explained, and they face a lot of frustration. But a lot of frustration on a work front is still better than, being strapped for cash and not taking this job offer, mainly because you don't want to have to change residence or change a new job environment. So prioritize. Know what's really important. If you need the money in order to take care of yourself, in order to sustain the new haven that you've worked really hard to create, the money comes first. Okay, so just take that job if you need to. There's no worries about this. I do feel you are going to be protected, so don't worry. The only thing I'm sensing here is, that paradigm shift was the only thing, honestly, keeping you from enjoying your life. So the paradigm shift has already happened. So there's only forward movement from now. So you don't really have to worry about anything. In terms of your external environment, we have the Three of Cups, which indicates to me celebration. It indicates to me like, that culmination, things coming together, getting a lot of support from those around you, getting a lot of, if for those of you who are, landing that new job or thinking about a new job, or thinking about what's the best route for you to take in terms of work, I would say look into the hospitality industry. These two cards usually come out together when I do readings for people in the hospitality industry too. So that's possibly where you're going to find like stable work, or at least work that pays enough where you don't have to worry, okay? But either way, there is a very nice celebratory energy surrounding you. And I do feel the people here are definitely sincere. These are friends. These are people from all walks of life, because when you look at them, there's an insect, and these are like different species. They're all different heights, excuse me, but they all get along because they all have like a commonality, you know, like a certain life moment, certain life experiences in common. So even though they might not agree with one another, there's still definitely a process or a situation where they have enough in common where they can understand one another on a very deep, on a very personal level, despite their differences. Okay, so it's really, really fruitful. For those of you who are dealing with like fire sign in a romantic setting, I do sense that you want to be a little bit careful, okay? For those of you dealing, fire signs are Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. I do sense there's going to be dash hopes, basically like flaky energy coming through, which is not going to be conducive for romance long term. So you want to be a little bit careful. One person should not put in all the work. And if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You want to be careful about wearing those rose-colored glasses and approaching life in a very, you know, naive, but also like too open-hearted of a way, okay? And I know that sounds bad, but you want to be realistic here. For those of you who are dealing with earth signs, this is Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. I do feel that there is a very, very good, possibly even reconciliation with this earth sign. They are going to be able to provide a lot of support for you. And I do sense there is possibly, you know, this earth sign can be a romantic partner. I do feel as well, you know, Three of Cups indicates, you know, like a big gathering celebration. There is possibly a celebration coming through for the second half of this month where you might meet these two potential partners, earth and fire, and be careful with the fire. I do feel that you want to be with whoever it is that is very, whoever it is. I feel like you're at the point now where you know the red flags and the warning signs, and you're a good judge of character at heart. Pisces are a very good judge of character. You overlook a lot, but you know people. You know who you can trust, but you do overlook a lot. So just be careful, be discerning, okay? And I do sense that there is somebody that is going to hype up, you know, all these job prospects. You want to avoid that. Whoever it is that instead of talking about a gazillion job potential coming through for you, if they're just talking about one thing, that's the person that is more solid, that has a lot more options, that you want to actually proceed with on the work front, even on the love front, because that's where it's going to be good for you, okay? I do feel a blast from the past, possibly with a fire sign. I do feel a person from your past, not in a romantic way, but you know, somebody that you're related to in the past, is coming through, possibly offering a new job, and they're only coming up with like one proposal. That's the job that you want to take, because the other one might talk big, but they don't really follow through. Okay, so Pisces, have a wonderful rest of September. I do sense that the worst of it is, honestly, it's over. The worst of it is done. You can only go uphill from now, okay? So the path, you know, we talk about path dependencies. So it's actually really important what you do right now, because you're starting a new phase in your life. So don't get sucked back into the past. Try to plan things out a little bit more, because, you know, path dependencies means that you have like a fork in the road. And the further along one path, the less likely or the more difficult it becomes for you to backtrack and to take the other path. So be smart about this. You're in a new phase. You're starting over. You want to plan things out a little bit more systematically so that you don't have to backtrack, okay? Don't waste time backtracking. By having like a solid game plan from the get-go, then you can save yourself a lot of time, a lot of emotional anguish, a lot of pain, disappointment, and things like that, a lot of tears. Just plan things out a little bit better for this next phase in your life, because honestly, I do feel that the worst of it is over, okay? So move forward. I wish you the very best, and good luck to you. If you'd like a private reading, please contact me at temperatestar@gmail.com. My website and the scheduling website can be found below in the description box. I will talk to you soon. Please, please, please take care of yourself, okay? Talk to you soon.